wireless doesn't work. Why does it work in the living room and not in the kitchen? Or why does it work in the kitchen and not in the laundry room? This is a really common issue that we deal with here at Mentor Computer, and we're going to give you some easy solutions for that today. What are we looking at here, Leo?
Well, I pulled out a couple of routers, all right? It was the rage a long time ago to buy your router, and this is an example of one.
And what's a router? Let's just be clear. What is a router?
The router is going to look after your internet. Your internet comes into your house, okay, and it's going to go through all of the wired connections. But wireless is the problem, and this little antenna is going to broadcast the internet for you, and your smartphone or your laptop, your tablet, will be using that information that comes out of that little antenna.
Okay. So this is the magic box that gives you the wireless.
The magic box that gives you the wireless, exactly right.
Okay, excellent.
Now this is one example of one. So for example, where's your smartphone?
Here.
Right, good. So of course this is a different distance, but your smartphone needs to talk to that antenna. Okay. One of the goofy things that can happen is that, let's say if I'm going to move this very, very far away. Now let's say this is a larger distance, okay? What can happen is that there could be something in the way. What do we have to put in the way here?
We have my coffee.
Okay, there's your coffee.
Gets in the way of a lot of things.
Let's say this was made out of metal. And what's going to happen is that this signal is going to go and hit this piece of metal. This could be like a pipe or some ducting in your wall or whatever.
Right.
And this signal can't make it to your smartphone. So if we put your smartphone way back there, your smartphone's not going to be able to see that. Oftentimes people will say when they move to another room, so move your smartphone, now it can see the wireless.
This is what happens in my laundry room. Yes, I can't send text from the laundry room.
Probably. So some smart technician said, what we're going to do is we're going to have two antennae. Okay? And what's going to happen is that we're going to put this, once again, some junk in the wall or something that blocks that signal, right?
Right.
However, the second antenna, this is not to scale, of course, this second antenna can see that smartphone. So you won't have that dropout.
And you know what I just realized? That if you take the square root of this distance and this distance...
Now you're showing off.
Grade 8 math, I'm showing off.
The other problem that we can have is that, we'll get this out of the way here, is that let's say this is a very large distance, okay? So your smartphone is over here, and I don't know, maybe this is in your garage and this is where your router is. What happens is that this antenna just can't put out the same signal. So what would be better is if you've got two antennae, right? And that's one solution that people have had. But we've got another solution. For example, if I take this router, this is the kind that we used to sell a long time ago, I can take off this antenna.
Do they all come off?
No. This one does, like this one here that you can get for free. This one is sort of fixed there. I mean, there are people that listen to our channel all the time that are able to go in here with a soldering gun and undo all this other stuff.
But this is not just, this is when you just unscrew.
That you unscrew. So if you unscrew that...
So if you're going to buy a router, make sure you can unscrew the antenna.
Well, that was good advice before, yes. And I mean, it should be still. But what can happen is that this larger antenna, which can broadcast a lot more signal...
That's a lot bigger.
It is a lot bigger, yes.
So when it comes to antennas, size matters.
You said you weren't going to say that. All right, so now this router is able to put out a lot more signal, so your smartphone should be able to pick up a lot more signal than this little guy right here. Okay? Okay,
so by just changing the antenna, we have doubled, well, more than doubled, but we've affected how much more coverage we have.
Exactly. You should be able to go further away, or at the same distance, at the end of your property, you should be able to have a lot more signal. This is roughly what is called decibels. It doesn't matter. It's 9 decibels more. So that's a lot more signal that your smartphone is going to be able to pick up. And then as well, it's going to be a little bit more sensitive. Now, of course, the same thing applies to the dual antenna one. I mean, this is just, we just add these together, but I don't know if I have to do all of this, but this is also unscrewable. Yeah, here you can put one on there.
Okay. So this is a very simple way to deal with your problem. My wireless isn't working. I don't have enough coverage. It can be as simple as replacing your antennas.
That's right. Now, I'm going to do this. I'm going to attach this without poking my eye out. I don't like the fact that these things can sit here like this. For example, it might fall over, right? I'd rather have these mounted on the wall. So if you can envision this against, well, let's say that wall over there, and sitting there, these will hang down. Our cables that we have in here will hang down too. You don't get to see all the pretty lights.
Yeah, but you know what's great about having them like this is when I went to my grandparents' house, they had bunny ears on top of their TV to get the signal. We're right back to.
Are you old enough to know about bunny ears? Or maybe your grandparents
We're
are
right
old
back to bunny ear technology again. Look, we've come full circle. Bunny ears.
Yes, bunny ears. But anyway, that is what you can do. You can then change these orientations because it could be, in the old days, certainly for 2.4 gigahertz signal, you could actually put that on an angle. But that's a little bit more fussy than I like.
The old days of 2.4 gigahertz, and when would that be, like 4 or 5 years ago? Those olden days?
Those olden days, exactly right, yeah.
Crazy.
Right. So with that technology, we can certainly add to the lifetime of this. We can add to the lifetime of these routers, and it's not all that expensive.
Fix a very simple problem. And we sell these antennas here?
We have those in stock. Yeah, they're just under $20 each.
$20. Extend the life of your wireless. And they look like they'd fit in a stocking. What a great idea.
Yes.
Come down to Mentor Computers at
106 North Cumberland. Okay, we're in Suite 109. We're right beside the LCBO store on Cumberland.